You know the feeling, you're inching forward in the airport security line and your heart just drops. You remembered your favourite multi-tool is still on your keychain. We've all been there, right? Forced to choose between surrendering a perfectly good, sometimes expensive tool to the TSA bin or taking a chance on missing your flight. For years, I've just travelled unprepared because I was so afraid my best gadgets would be confiscated. I've lost a good knife, similar to this actually, through forgetting that it was in my bag, and it's a frustrating mistake. It always felt like a choice between being ready for the small hassles of travel and just complying with the rules. But what if you didn't have to make that choice? What if I told you that there are a couple of bladeless wonders that are a sure bet to get through security? Today, we're going to put two of Victorinox's most travel-friendly designs through their paces. So the Jetsetter and the SwissCard. Can they handle everything from a last-minute wardrobe malfunction to an annoyingly stubborn snack package? And what most importantly, will they make it through security? No questions asked. I've even brought a third, beefier contender to those who need a bit more power. Stick around because you're never going to look at your travel kit the same way again. So what's the secret sauce here? It's all about what these tools don't have and what this one does. So any multi-tool with a knife, whether it's a Victorinox, or the Gerber Dime, or even the humble Micra, the one thing that these all have, which is a definite no-no, is a blade. So any tool with a multi-knife, any multi-tool with a knife is a no-go for carry-on. But the TSA rules are explicit. Multi-tools are allowed if the scissors are less than 4 inches from the pivot point. And this one simple change opens up a world of possibilities for us. Let's meet the three contenders. So first up is the undisputed champion of keychain convenience, the Victorinox Jetsetter. So this is fantastic. It weighs in at, let's have a look, so this is fantastic, and it weighs in at 21 grams. It's tiny as well, so it's about 2 inches long, and it's got a load of great tools on it. Just looking at the scale tools, just like all Victorinox, it has the tweezers and the toothpick. Then it has some scissors, small but mighty, and it has the combi tool, which is common on a number of these 58mm. And here you've got the small Phillips screwdriver with a wire bender and a cap lifter. And of course the key ring, if you want to have it on your keys. So it's got that classic Swiss Army look, but because it's bladeless, it's totally ready for air travel. So the next contender is the Victorinox SwissCard, and this one is the Nailcare. Now the reason I've got this is that it doesn't have a blade. Instead of that, it has a glass nail file. Now this has the scissors, and these take a little bit of getting used to, but they're nice and snippy and they work really well. In addition to that, you have the tweezers, and you have this multi-tool which has 2 flat heads and 2 Phillips on there. It also has the magnifying glass, which is great. It comes with a toothpick and the pen. And then somewhere around here, there's the pin as well. So you get a lot. And this weighs in at nearly 27 grams. But still really light. The nice thing about this, it has a short ruler on it as well. It's not always so easy to see in this light. Let's have a look. But you can see it's 3 inches long, or in millimeters, that's about 75. So it's the same size as a credit card. It can fit in your wallet. I prefer to take it in with my tech kit. So that's the Victorinox SwissCard Nailcare. So pretty minimalist, I think. And then finally, the heavyweight contender is this one, and it's my latest purchase. This is the Victorinox Companion Slim Alox. The thing about this is it has the scissors, and these are a decent sized scissors as well. So the same as on the Pioneer X or Farmer X. It has the usual flathead screwdriver, cap lifter and wire bender, and then instead of the usual can opener, it has this package opener, which is fairly new. And we'll maybe do a demo of that. Now I haven't got a package to open. Let's see how it does with this bottle. So it just takes a little bit to get it started because it's round. I've got to be careful because there's still some water in here. But as you can see, it just slices through the plastic really easily. Right, let's make sure I don't spill that. So, fantastic tool, and it also has this flat head on top as well. It's surprisingly sharp. I'm trying to keep my fingers away from it. I did manage to nick myself with it earlier, so I can guarantee that's sharp. So this is the heavyweight of the group. Let's check the weight. So this weighs in at what, 65 grams. But one of the things, how I carry mine is I carry it in my wallet. So this is a wallet from MJ Hoods. I'll put a link, and I bought this a little while ago. Griff put it together for me, and it's great because as well as having my normal wallet stuff, so with a number of cards and things, I've also got a bullet pen in there at the moment. So this has helped reduce my carry. It seems quite chunky, but it fits in my front pocket and I hardly know it's there. Well, I know it's there enough to know that it's there, if that makes sense. So if it wasn't in my pocket, I would know it, you know? Anyway, that's how I carry mine. So the trade-off with this is increased capability, better scissors. You've got a much more substantial flathead here that also works as a pry bar. So just all in all, and I mean, to be honest, compared to the other two, this is certainly the most stylish. Now, one extra tip, if all you want is the scissors and you don't want to carry this SwissCard, there is another option as well. And if you've got a 3D printer, and I got my son to print this off for me, you can print off this little holder for the scissors. And it means it can go on a key ring, or it can go in a travel kit that you have. And the nice thing is it keeps them nice and safe, and then they're ready to go. But so if you want super minimalist and it's only the scissors that you want, I recommend finding somebody to print this out for you, or print it yourself if you've got one. So hopefully those three options all look pretty good, but how do they do? Let's take a look, and we'll put them through a couple of tests. So here we have the good old paracord test. So let's see how they do. Let's start with the Jetsetter first. I think that was more operator error, but you can see it cuts through it really well. Okay. Then we've got the SwissCard scissors. Now these take a little bit of getting used to. There's a couple of ways to hold them. One is to put your finger through, and you'll see that these scissors are the same size as the Jetsetter. So you can either hold it like that, or you can tuck it in and hold it like this. And these are super snippy. So you can see they're pretty much, are they maybe slightly bigger actually? But awesome scissors. And then lastly, we've got the companion. So this has the biggest scissors of the group. So this should have no trouble in cutting through this. I'm making a bit of a mess, but then if you were thinking about maybe you've got a thread on a piece of clothing. So any of these will cut through that. And this is where scissors actually are better than a knife, because getting a thread is never as easy with a knife. But these have the precision. Now, another thing is that quite often happens if you have a nail that's a little bit long and you just need to snip a bit off, any of these will do that. Yeah, I never thought I'd be cutting my nails on YouTube, but here we go. So any one of those can cut. Now, the big benefit with the Nailcare is that as well as cutting your nails, you can also file it. So especially if you just get a little hang bit on there. So they work super well for that. And, you know, this is where scissors are better than a knife. You know, there aren't many people that cut their fingernails with a knife. So scissors tend to work much better for that. And then lastly, if you've got something that's got a Phillips screw on it, and I've just got this example here. So with this, you can just about get to it. So this fits in. With the Jetsetter, equally, you can unscrew that. And even with this, let's try the package opener. Now I think this may struggle. It's got a flat head. It doesn't really get in as well for that. So that's the only thing where the Alox doesn't do as well. So now for the $1 million question. Do they actually get through airport security? Now, these two I've carried with me in Europe, into North America, and into Mexico and South America as well. So I know these should be okay. I normally have them in my rucksack. Some people's advised to be upfront about it and to take them out of your pocket or wallet and put them in the bin by themselves. But there is always what we call the TSA gamble. So the final call always comes down to the individual officer at the checkpoint. And a few people have said that they do get asked about this, but they've been okay. As it has no knife, it should be fine. But you can never be entirely sure. And I'm not sure I'd want to risk the companion slim on getting taken by the TSA or other airport security. So this is a bit too nice for that. Now you can take an envelope that's got your address on and post it back, but it does mean going back through security to be able to do that. So there is a risk with this. Now the Jetsetter is fairly cheap, so that's normally under £15. The SwissCard is more expensive, but worst case, you can take out the scissors and then just let them have that. So that's a benefit, but this is a bit more expensive. I'll put a link to it. I'll put links to all three in the description if you do want to buy them. So that's a little bit more to lose. So I've never had these taken away. I'm not sure about this, but being bladeless is a good defense. What's the verdict? Which one is the right one for you? So the Jetsetter is a real minimalist. So it hardly takes up any bulk or weight. It's also light and affordable, and it covers most of the things you need. The SwissCard Nailcare is more discreet, maybe more professional. It fits well in any travel kit that you have. So I think that's a totally non-threatening travel companion. And then this one is for the practical power user. You know, if you've got a briefcase or a tech pouch, you can put it in, but it does have more durability and it is a bit more weighty. So I think the real game changer here is realizing that you don't have to travel unprepared anymore. Thanks to these bladeless designs, you don't have the risk of, or such a risk of, losing them in security. You can fix, open, snip your way through all those annoyances that travel throws at you. So that sachet of ketchup that you want to use your teeth on, you can just snip your way through it with this. I'd like to hear from you now. What are your go-to travel tools? Have you found a TSA approved gadget that you absolutely swear by? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to be doing another travel kit shortly, so I'd love to hear some ideas from you. So what do you carry on a plane that's been cleared by security? Your tips could help other travelers finally solve that airport security puzzle. Hope you found this useful, and why not watch this video on travel scissors or this playlist on travel gear. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.